Hi, welcome to another episode of Shutter Stories Uncensored. I'm Mark, your host, and we're going to start off with a very serious news story I covered. One evening, I was sitting at home watching TV when the scanner screamed at me, telling me there was a shooting not too far from where I was. It was in the Series Courier News area, so I grabbed my gear, jumped in my car, and headed to the scene. Got there, pulled off on the side of the road, walked up. There was a sheriff's deputy car blocking the road near the house, right in front of the house. So I walked around that car with my camera and walked up and took a few photos of the car in front of the house. Uh, and then when I was there taking photos of the house, and I could see the deputy inside, and he came out, told me, and was kind of upset with me that I had walked around his car to get to where I was. I told him I'm with the Series Courier, and told me he didn't give a rat's ass who I was working for, and that I should have stayed behind his patrol car since it was blocking the road. Really, that's not a thing. Um, if there's police tape up, crime scene tape, then I'll stay behind that. But if there's not, I'll go where I think I need to be. And he didn't agree with my thinking, I guess, and yelled at me and told me to get behind his or in front of his patrol car. So I moved to that position, waited, tried to get a few photos from where I was standing of him at the house, the officer, the sheriff's deputy, and waited. A few minutes later, another photographer showed up from Modesto B, Manuel Diaz, and he was a great guy. I always loved working with him, talking with him. Learned a lot from him, too, over the years. And then later, another photographer showed up for a second weekly that was in the city series. I forget the name of the publication now, but it was a small paper, 2 or 3 of the Series Courier former employees that had left the Courier had started their own newspaper. But that's the story for another time. But as we're waiting, we did get some more information. Another couple other sheriff's deputies showed up. Crime scene people showed up, and couple detectives showed up, and they came out to talk to us. Kind of told us it was a long story. They're still looking into it. This wasn't the first time this officer had been at this house that day, and I guess the second time the second time he showed up, interaction with the homeowner kind of escalated, and my understanding was that the homeowner had a weapon. Officer told him to drop it. He wouldn't, and next thing you know, it escalated even further, and the deputy had to shoot and kill the homeowner. That was the first time I ever been to an officer-involved shooting, and it's kind of crazy. Hung out there for about another hour. Got some shots, got some photos of the body being taken away by the coroner. If I mentioned, the coroner showed up as well. And that was pretty dramatic. Got my photos, got back to the Courier early the next day to process my film and give contacts and everything to the editor, Jeff, so he can work on the story. I gave him all the information I had, gave him the basic caption info that I acquired while on scene. Yeah, it was just a little different of all the things I've covered up to that point. Now I want to talk about a structure fire that I was at. Again, it wasn't too far from where the shooting took place, and not too far from where I lived. Again, it was at night. Scanner call came in for a structure fire. got out there with my gear, got out of my car, walked up to the scene. Firefighters were fully fighting a fully involved house fire. And when I was standing there getting photos of the firemen, and this was the industrial fire department. And while I was there getting photos of the industrial fire department battling the fire, I could see that the main part of the fire was in towards the back of the house. So I made my way around, got into the backyard, and I got some photos. No firefighters back there at all. And I didn't understand why, because this was where the origin of the fire seemed to be. So I was getting photos of the extreme fire and the house burning and all that. And then all of a sudden, out of nowhere, I heard this big zap. Didn't notice there was a live power line hanging in the trees that was connected to the house. It connected the transformer on the pole to the house. And since the fire was back there first, it had burnt the connection off the house, and the hot wire was just laying in a tree. And every so often it would arc to the ground. Man, that scared the crap out of me. And now I knew why the firefighters weren't back there. So I made my way back to the front of the house, so I didn't get electrocuted. That would have been a bad day, an ultimate bad day. So I made my way back up to the front of the house, and I was getting more photos of the firefighters battling the fire. I got a few shots of the chief orchestrating the attack on the fire. And while I was standing there, a woman came up to me. I guess he lived in the house. He was the homeowner. And she asked me if everyone was out of the house. And I said, ma'am, I really don't know, but I know who will know. Just walk with me, and I'll walk you over to the fire chief. And I walked over and said, hey, chief, this lady is the homeowner, and she just wanted to know if everyone was out of the house safely. And then I passed over to the chief. They started talking when I was walking away, getting back to my coverage of the fire. And I got a lot of good photos, got a lot of good info. So I was pretty much done, and walked back to my car to head back home. Again, since it was late night, I got up early in the morning to head to the paper to process again my film and give contacts to the editors. And yeah, that was another bad close call fire that I covered. Man, that power wire in that tree really shook me to the core. And yeah, that was pretty frightening. I probably should have checked before I went back there, but I'm a little eager beaver as it comes to being a photojournalist. I'm not afraid. I do whatever I need to do to get the photo, but at least 90% of the time I know what I'm getting myself into. That time I didn't, which could have been ended really badly. All right, everyone. That's my 2 stories for this episode. Let me know in the comments what you think. Again, I'm always asking for questions, comments, anything you want to know about me, my career, the gear I used, any tips or tricks. Like I said last episode, I am working in the near future to add a segment that's going to talk about tips and tricks and some of the things I did in the lab. Next episode, I'm going to spend more time talking about what I did as a photojournalist in a little bit more detail, processing film, tips and tricks I found and created myself, and we'll share more of that with you going forward. All right, everyone, thanks for watching. You guys be safe out there. See you next episode.